Let's start drinking Chardonnay, shall we?
Yes, please.
I'm going to pour myself a little bit. So I have the 2012 Dona Paula Chardonnay Estate. Stelvin. It's got a twist off. I noticed that both the Chardonnay and the Torrontés are bottled with a twist off cap. Is that for all of the whites in the U.S. market?
Yes. With the only exception of Selección de Bodega Chardonnay, that is our icon white wine. But all the rest, the rest of the line, we have about four the white wines in this range, and a couple more in Los Cardos range. All of them with a screw cap.
And that's to preserve freshness, and you guys feel it's a better closure than the traditional cork closure, more consistent.
Yes, much more consistent.
So let's jump into this Chardonnay here a little bit. This Chardonnay, 100% Chardonnay, it comes from one of your vineyards that's close to Mendoza, the Finca Alluvia.
Yes. If you want to get a picture of an idea of it, it would be Mendoza is like a big slope coming from east to west. Whenever you go closer to the mountains, you are higher. And in this case, Gualtallari is a part of Tupungato. I don't want to make a mess with names, but the idea is that you are very close to the Andes. It's about 1,300 meters high, something like more than 4,000 feet high.
Sure.
So it's quite high. It's quite cold for Mendoza conditions, but not so cold if you compare it with cold areas like, I don't know, Monterrey, Valley, or Adelaide or some cold area, or maybe Burgundy. But it's cold for our conditions. And the most special thing is that it has a very, very stony and with a lot of calcaire in the soil. So
it's very interesting. I showed a picture of the vineyard. The plants are fairly widely spaced. The soil looks very rocky. One of the most fascinating things on the Dona Paula website is that for each of the estate vineyards, you guys have created a soil profile picture, and I found them fascinating. And in this particular vineyard, it seems like you have a smaller deposit of alluvial stones over maybe larger river stones underneath. Could you talk a little bit about the soil here?
Yes. Imagine this soil are quite new soils. In general, they are from 10,000 to 20,000 years old. But in fact, after every big storm that we suffer there, you can see how they form, because there is a lot of dry rivers in the area that are coming from they are dry whole year, but when there is a big storm, you have this river that comes one year one side, and the next year it comes from another side. And they deposit a lot of stones that are rolling, so they are rolling stone, very rounded.
Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
So here we have a Chardonnay. You were saying that you're trying for a style that's a little bit more acid-driven, a little brighter, a little less heavy. There's still obvious oak influence here. It still has a barrel-fermented quality, but it is a very it's an interesting wine because it's pretty rich and it's pretty bright and vibrant.
Yes, that's what we're looking for. Maybe I would say it's a little bit more modern style. I think it's what in the future people will try to look for a little bit more, because in this kind of wines, what you get is an expression of the place or the terroir, or however you want to call it. It's not it's not a lot of things added in the winery. It's just trying to keep the nature talking, I would say. Not so much oak here. The Chardonnay is being 100% fermented in oak barrels, but only after that, only half of the barrel keep there, and the rest go to a stainless steel tank.
That's
So
interesting.
yes, and also what we do is trying to we use some used barrels, second or third used barrels, but not only new oak. So we want to keep the fruit in the product, everything.
And so you're getting a little bit of texture from the oak. You're getting the opportunity to do a little lees contact when you keep it in the barrel, but you take it out of the barrel early enough and put it in stainless, so you're keeping this freshness. And this
Yes.
does not go through mallow,
It's not going through malo.
which
No.
is a real departure, preserving all that acidity. Is this a style that is common at all in Argentina, or is this a style that's very much the Dona Paula house style?
Well, I don't know with the rest of the wine. I have seen some good examples. And in general, it's style of Dona Paula. If you seen the whole line, we want to keep freshness. We want to keep fruit talking through the wine. That's the most important for us.